Professor Zalthor's crystalline eyes swept across the lecture hall of the Galactic Institute of Advanced Physics. 300 students from 40 different species sat in anticipation, their various appendages poised over data pads. "Your final assignment," the Valkyrian professor announced, his voice resonating through translators, "is to theorize a perfect energy source. You have one standard month." The auditorium erupted in whispers. Perfect energy meant zero waste, infinite sustainability, and universal application. It was the holy grail that had eluded the galaxy's brightest minds for millennia. Zalthor's gaze lingered on the human in the back row. Marcus Chen sat alone, as humans often did in these prestigious halls. They were the newest species to join the galactic community, barely 2 centuries into space travel. Curious creatures, these humans, impulsive, short-lived, but oddly persistent. The class dispersed. Most students formed study groups immediately, planning month-long research schedules. The Dravoxians consulted their ancestral databases. The Luminians began complex mathematical modeling that would take weeks. Marcus went to the cafeteria. He grabbed something the other species called death brew, humans called it coffee, and sat by the observation window overlooking the planet below. His mind wandered, not through calculated equations but through patterns. He thought about Earth's sun, about the way his grandmother's old fusion reactor hummed, about quantum entanglement he'd read about during breakfast. Humans had a peculiar trait that baffled xenopsychologists: their brains never stopped making connections. While other species thought in linear progressions, human neural pathways fired like lightning storms, connecting disparate concepts in ways that seemed almost random. By evening, Marcus had filled 17 napkins with sketches. Not formal calculations, just ideas flowing freely. He saw the problem differently than his classmates. They were trying to create energy. What if you didn't create it? What if you borrowed it? He rushed back to his quarters and spent 3 hours in frenzied work. His fingers flew across holographic displays, pulling together quantum field theory, temporal mechanics, and a principle he'd learned from ancient human philosophy: everything seeks balance. The next morning, Marcus arrived at Zalthor's office. "Professor, I've completed the assignment." Zalthor's chromatophores flickered, the Valkyrian equivalent of laughter. "Mr. Chen, the assignment was given yesterday. You have 29 days remaining." "I know, sir. But I've solved it." The professor's amusement faded as he reviewed Marcus's submission. His eyes widened. The human had proposed a zero-point energy tap that used quantum vacuum fluctuations, stabilized by a temporal feedback loop that prevented entropy. It was elegant. It was revolutionary. It was perfect. "How?" Zalthor whispered, "How did you do this in one evening?" Marcus shrugged, a gesture the professor had learned meant casual dismissal. "I just thought about it differently. Humans are good at that. We don't always know what's impossible, so we don't let it stop us." Zalthor looked at the young human with newfound understanding. Perhaps humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their bodies, it was their refusal to accept limitations, even those imposed by time itself. The galaxy would never underestimate humans again.